Alright, looks like we are live. Hello, Internet! I am Ryan Reeh of the 1P vs 2P podcast, and today we are going to be playing Into the Breach. This is a game from the fine folks at Subset Games, the people who also made FTL. This game is a little bit like FTL in the sense that it has a little bit of roguelike elements, some RPG stuff in there. It plays a little bit like, well, let's just get into it. It's kind of a puzzle tactics-based thing. So let's start with the default squad. So when you start the game, you start off with this squad of mechs. It's a team of 3. You have this combat mech that lets you punch enemies and push them away. This cannon mech that is like a tank. It fires a shot and then pushes the target back. And this artillery mech that kind of hits in kind of like a cross pattern, striking the person in the center of the cross and then pushing away the other 4. I'm going to play on normal here because I like to play on normal. And I'm going to be going with this time traveler that I used in my last run. She's kind of leveled up. You start off the game with this Ralph Carlson guy. He's kind of the default. All these, basically, these mechs are piloted by pilots, and you unlock more as you play over the course of the game. And when you finish a run, whether you win or lose, you can transfer one time traveler from your team to kind of bring into your next run. So I'm going with Bethany Jones here. Her special is that a mech starts, every mech that she pilots starts the mission with a shield, and then, you know, she's a little bit leveled up. I played her in 2 previous timelines, and she's made it all the way to one final battle. Lots of different abilities. She's one of my favorites. I really like Ariadne. He gives you +3 health and is immune to fire. I also like this guy. It requires 1 power, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But basically, you can deploy. Generally, you can deploy your mechs when the game starts in kind of a certain section of the map, but he will let you put himself anywhere on the map, and then he'll kind of, anybody you place him next to, he'll deal damage to start off, to give you kind of a first start. So we'll go ahead and get started. Right, so this is kind of the overworld map of the game. There are 4 islands. To get to the final area, you really only have to clear 2 of them, but you can also clear the game by after clearing 3 islands or 4 islands. The last encounter kind of scales to how much of the previous stuff that you've done before. So it gets kind of more difficult, but you also get more powerful, and I feel like it's pretty balanced. Over here at the top, you see the star. This is kind of your corporate reputation. This is the currency in the game. Basically, you complete these objectives in the missions, you get reputation points, and then when you complete an island, you can spend them to get new weapons, new power cells, and this power grid thing, which basically represents how you're overall doing. You lose, as it says, you lose if this reaches 0. And you have to kind of protect buildings, and every time a building gets hurt, you lose 1 pip, and if the pips go all the way down, this timeline is lost forever. And then this defense thing is basically a percentage chance that anytime a building gets attacked, it will resist the damage. This percentage goes up depending on the layout of your squad, and also if it's full and you gain another power lightning bolt here, it'll increase the percentage by 2%. And then this is kind of the overall score. So let's get in here. So I really like this game, not just because of its themes, but also because there's a lot of systems going on, and I'm a big fan of tactics-based games, and this game really kind of speaks to me. So here we have a choice between objectives that are take less than 3 grid damage, which is the buildings, and protect the coal plant, or defend the satellite launches. What I also love about this game, unlike a lot of other tactics games, it kind of shows you a lot of information, and you can do with it what you will. It also shows you this information before you make your move. So that's kind of what plays into the puzzle-solving element of it. Okay, that map looks alright. Let's look at the other one. Ooh. Let's play this one. Alright, so these yellow areas are the areas where I can kind of place my squad in the beginning as the setup. There's kind of a lot of information on the screen that we'll get through. But basically I'm fighting these insect-like things. I have to hold out for 5 turns, and then after that I win, or depending on how this goes, I might lose if I completely crap this up. Alright, let's put this guy here, this person here, sure, confirm. Alright, walked into a mine, died. Perfect. Sweet, that's why I picked this map. Okay, so these little holes, new enemies will spawn. New Vec, that's these species of these insects that we're fighting here, will spawn from these 3 spots. I can get an enemy on there and block them spawning. I can also set one of my mechs on one of these grids to block that also. This is that coal plant I want to protect on one of my bonus objectives, this spot right here, and this guy is attacking it, so I need to prevent him from doing that. And this is kind of the meat of the game. So it shows you his range. If you click on the enemies, you can see their movement range on the next turn. You hover over their picture, it shows you what they are, the type of square they're on, and what their attack will look like and how much damage, approximately how much damage it'll do. This creature jumps up and down, but will do a lot of damage if I just leave it sit there. But because of my pilot's special ability, it's basically going to do no damage because she has a shield. But he's webbed her up, and I'm not going to be able to move him unless I do something about it. Okay, so what's my best option here? Oh, cool. So this guy is next to the water. Ground units can't attack in water. But if I can somehow push this guy into the water, he will die. So let's go ahead and do that with the tank. That's probably a smart move here. Use this weapon. This will also set that range for fire. It shows me my range. If I decide for some reason that I don't like this move, I can go ahead and undo the move. And once per match, once per grid, I can actually reset my entire turn. I can time travel. There is a pilot in the game who lets you do this twice per battle, but if for some reason you know, you're not optimally moving units around, you want to go back in time and kind of start from the beginning, that's a very useful ability to have, and kind of lets you plan things out a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and push this guy in the water and kill him. And your units gain XP, and as they do, they get stronger and more able. Okay, let's move this artillery unit here, maybe? Okay, so if I shoot it here, I will hit this cricket and then push my guy away. So let's go ahead and do that. Great. And just for extra kicks, I'm gonna put my mech on here, and that shield will block one of the units from spawning. And end my turn. So far, so good on this run. I'm gonna trap him again. Okay. Alright. Attack order. So sometimes it's important to know when enemies are going first, so you could potentially play it out so that an enemy kills another enemy before they get a chance to attack, preventing them from attacking. So if you hover over that, it'll show you this cricket is going to attack that mech first, followed by that little beetle scarab thing. Looks like I'm going to shoot exactly 4 spots ahead of him, so I have the option of probably pushing him forward 1, I could push him back 1 to stop this building from being destroyed. I also need to take care of this. Maybe well, let's move the tank over here. use that mine to my advantage. Oh no, but if I do that... Shoot. I push that back one, but then... I would hurt my own unit, which I don't want to do. Okay. Let's push him forward one. And now he's attacking the mountain, so he's going to be harmless. And push this. Sure, why not? And for good measure, let's just punch him out. Great. Cool. Good stuff. I will say typically on most runs, the first island is not that difficult. But as you kind of get to the other islands, things kind of tend to get a little more frenetic. Let's see. That artillery unit can't move, but I can slam that guy against him and destroy him. So let's do that. Okay. Hurt my own guy, but no, it's fine. He'll live. Let's... Block that. Punch this person. Tank. And then punch like so. Oh! Okay, last turn. Well, I really could just move my guys out of the way and then we're done here, right? But I do want to get some experience, so let's... I'll kill him. Sure. Ooh, don't want to do that quite yet. That would kill my guy. If your mechs lose all their health, you will not lose the mech, you will lose a pilot inside, which will still let you use the mech the next battle, but they won't get any more experience, and all of their abilities that you get from leveling up, you will lose access to that. So that's kind of the motivation to keep your mechs and pilots alive in the battle. Great. There you go, we took out all the Vec. Fantastic. And my corporate sponsor is very happy about that. Cool. Where are we gonna go next? That's probably easier. Oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, so I get another unit, but I have to defend it. Let's try this one. Let's do this, and a little bit of that. Sure. So these kinds of units are generally very interesting. These give passive bonuses to the enemies. In this case, when these other units die, they have this little orange thing. Because this guy exists, on death, these guys will kind of shoot out in a cross pattern, kind of like a death spell, and will do damage in a cross along the way. So I have to be careful not to, when I kill these guys while this guy is up, to not be right next to them so I don't do damage to myself. Okay, so I need to prevent these two things from hurting the buildings. So that's kind of my primary goal here. This is a smart play. If I do that, I'll push him away so he can harmlessly attack that mountain. Or... no. See, the challenge is always with these push mechanics, not to push your own units into buildings, which hurts yourself, or push your own units into your own units. As much as possible, you want to make sure that the enemy units are damaging each other and not you. Okay. That would be a good move. Let's try it. Look at that. That was perfect. That's the kind of thing I really love about this game. It's when a kind of plan comes together. You really feel like you did something super awesome that, while you may have anticipated it, you might not have expected it. So, yeah, that felt really good. Punch this guy, killing him, and set this person up for success next turn. Can't do anything, so. Also, different status effects in this game. This tire that now it's set on fire is one of them. If a unit stands on that, they will get turned on fire and will take damage over time. And I don't want to be standing in that, so I am not going to try to do that. Alright, if I let this guy go, he's going to destroy that building. I could leave him up. But let's kill him instead. What do you say? Do this. Emotions. Boom. I wiped him. The enemies do get stronger. There are some real jerks later on in this game. Oh boy. So now I've kind of presented myself with a little bit of an unwinnable situation. So. Boy, how am I going to get out of this pickle? So, if I leave this artillery unit here, this cricket will kill this person. I can't move because he's webbed me. So the smart money would tell me that if I can at all possible, does my tank have enough range? Alright, if I can get rid of this guy, I can potentially move my tank. Oh, I don't think that's going to be enough. Shoot. Can't use artillery guy because he does 2 damage and that guy only has 2 health. Shoot. I have to say goodbye to Tank Man. I could also save him by destroying the coal plant, but A, that's my bonus objective, and B, I'm doing damage to the power grid, which I really, really don't want to do. Huh. Quite a pickle. It's the kind of thing that I, sometimes you set yourself up for failure in this game, and you don't know it. And I wish things had played out a little bit differently, but I think we're going to have to say goodbye to our artillery friend. It's not worth it. My net loss would be 2 because of the 1 that I would gain. Darn! Alright, well, not much I can do about it. Goodbye. You hate to see that happen, folks. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Done with that. Basically, the only 2 units that I really need to take care of are the ones attacking the buildings. Let's do that. The other ones are of no consequence to me, because this guy will live, and all this guy is doing is attacking the mountain. but I might as well get some extra experience. Oh, that stinks that I got that mech killed in action. But didn't have a choice there. Or maybe I did. Okay. Let's play this one. So the different bonus objectives, sometimes there are mechanics around that. In this case, I have to protect these rockets until they launch. When they are, it takes 2 turns for them to launch. So when they prep for launch, the areas around them are kind of like a kill zone, and I want to make sure that I'm not standing in them, but instead my enemies are. So that's kind of an interesting twist on this particular level. Okay, so you see this this guy that I lost is now being run by an AI, and not going to have any special bonuses, but still part of my squad. Which means I can still be very useful to me. Oh man. See, now this is poor placement here. I should have placed my formation differently, because now rocket take damage. I really need to get these scarabs out of my way. Well, no. The rockets take a hit. Well, that could take damage. No, but then if I push them that way, building will also take damage. Huh. You know what, let's oh, I see a solution. Okay. That was really smart, actually. I didn't even see that happening. I'm going to block spawning units. And then we'll punch this guy out. Look at that. It's like being on the A team. I love when a block comes together. Okay, so this rocket's going to launch. So, get this guy out of the way. Kind of doesn't matter. Anyway. Put you away. Block you. Your health is kind of more important to me than that. Alright. Okay, objective complete. Now our friend who gets our enemies to kamikaze attack. That's annoying. I think what really annoys me are the enemies that kind of web your allies. Those are, honestly, I think more dangerous than some of the more powerful enemies in this game. That will damage. What? No. You know what? This will damage. This move will push this guy back. He'll kill himself, damage this guy, which will kill himself, which will damage the rocket slightly. But the rocket has 2 health, so that's probably the smart play. a way to do that without damaging around it. This artillery unit was in a different spot, maybe. The real question is how I'm going to get this guy to not damage this building. I could use the... Yeah, let's do that. Okay. That was an okay result. Take it. Okay, I really should move. Yeah. Okay. The problem with artillery mechs is that they generally, you know, they can't shoot directly next to them. They have to shoot one over from where they are positioned. The only way I can hit that guy if I target the buildings or I target the square itself, but that won't kill him. If I push him like this, that will kill him, but it will also hurt the buildings twice because once from the pushback into the building and then once more from the explosive. So I don't really have a lot of options unless I do this. Probably. Do this. Sometimes you do have to damage. You have to break a few eggs to make a scramble. Pretty sure that's how that phrase goes, right? Alright, so satellite's gonna launch. The game is perfect for people who like to second guess themselves. I will say that. A lot of that going on. If I leave them in the way, they'll get damaged out of there. So if I punch, this guy will die because of the satellite. Oh, but then see, the attack order matters first because the rocket will die. It's not what we want. Out of the way. Okay. Alright. Everybody's safe. Saved everybody. We did it. Kind of breezing through this because I want to show everybody what a boss encounter looks like. It's also kind of the end of every island. There's kind of a more difficult challenge. Leave the island and move on to the next one. See, they didn't get any experience because it was an AI. Robots can't learn. Everybody knows this. Sure. It's kind of hard to know when you're deploying where the best spots to put your guys are. Ooh, a time pod. So time pods are basically a way to kind of, in the middle of a battle, get new pilots, anything else that they're kind of like loot chests. They randomly spawn in-game. You have the option of picking it up with one of your units or protecting it until the end of the battle. And then either way, at the end, you will collect your bonus, which is randomized. It can either be a new pilot, more power to unlock more upgrades for your mechs, or you know, some other random bonus, power grid, a new weapon, you know, something like to that effect. So we want to unlock that. Okay, so one of the objectives is destroy the dam. If I did that now, that would put a bunch of water on the map, but I can't do that. I shouldn't do that quite yet. Other priorities. Well, shields basically means this is my only option. Okay. That's good. Okay, I basically have just to knock this guy out of the way, so that's good damage to myself. That would not be very smart though. Unit into it either. Save the pod. Good there. And let's move on like so, out of the way. And, as a bonus, I can block spawn. Great. That guy mounted punches it. Okay. Probably a good move here. That guy. Some good writing in this game. I can appreciate it. Well, actually, that's fine. Okay. I'm not gonna destroy the dam. Well, should I destroy the dam just to get it done with? Alright. Force my hand, dam. Great. I'll keep some of the range from my I can stop from burning the buildings. But gotta do something very spicy. If I can get Max in the right spots. Well, maybe that's not smart to do first. Let's push that mech back, that mech, that mech. Or not the mech, bug. Might be one of those ones where I have to reset my turn. This doesn't play out the way I want it to. Because there's not a whole lot of damaging this mech. Oh, it's a little bit got more health. Let's put this guy in the water and die. Yay. Good stuff. Oh, and I forgot I have another objective blocking them. That's fine. Now I'm done. Okay. Punch this guy. Nope. Let's do one of those. And we're done here. Great. Alright, one of our peeps leveled up. Oh, I forgot about the time pod. Open that door. Alright, and And we get a reactor core. Great. And this person got 2 more health, making her more tanky. So once there are 3 left, you know, you'll lose those regions, and then we'll get the boss encounter. But let's, since we got a reactor core, let's see how we can upgrade our mechs. So I have 1 of these, so I have to, this is kind of where the game is most like FTL and the level up stuff. So I could install this power core, or reactor core here, and give her +2 health, +1 move range. If I had 2 of them, I could upgrade this punch into a dash punch. Like it says, I could charge any distance before punching the target. If I had 3 more on top of that, 5 total, I could do 2 more damage with it. So maybe not this person, I should upgrade right away. I could give this person more health and make him more powerful. I had another power core. This one has no pilot because remember he died. But if I installed it here, I could give this upgrade, which means that I could fire this artillery missile at buildings and they would not take any damage, which might be the smart thing to do here. When I play with this squad, I usually get this upgrade first because it's more useful than you might think. Okay, so now we're going to fight the boss encounter. And then this will, once I complete this will kind of complete the island, if I complete it. Okay, so... generally, when the enemies are purple or kind of a darker purple, they're like pink and dark purple, they tend to be more dangerous. So this one is a more powerful version of that, of these spider units of Firefly. They can walk on water, and they shoot in both directions and will do 4 damage. That's a lot of damage. So I want to be careful with him. And one of my objectives is to try to kill him. So, and then my other objective is to protect this corporate tower, which is always on the last level of the island. You have to protect this thing. Okay. Let's put him here, and his neck here. It's gonna be challenging. Oh, okay. Okay, already. Good start. Got a lot going on. Crap. Okay. What can I do here? If I push them, the artillery will push him into him, knocking out the shields. This guy will move out of the way, though. I can punch him, push him. Alright, I think that's what I'm going to do. Shields down. But get this guy safely out of the way. And when I push this guy into here, he'll not only block the spawn, he'll also hurt his friends. Exactly what we want. That is a good scenario. Boom. This default squad is kind of a nice all-around team. Depending on the randomization of at the end, you can kind of change up the side. Every mech can have a second weapon, but some of the squads are more based around positioning of enemies and trying to get them to attack each other, but not as offense-oriented. Some are straight offense. Some are more based around status effects. There's some really neat squads in this game. Okay, so punching him will destroy him, so let's do that. Good, because he was dangerous. Let's use our AI friend. Push that guy out of the way. And let's push this guy into the ocean. Great. Going well so far. Okay. This guy has 2 health, 1 health, 2 health, but I can push him into the ocean. Let's... Okay. This has to go very specific. Let's push this here. Right. There. Straight into the drink. And then we'll punch out of this scarab. I will say that there is a little bit of a difficulty curve on this game. You know, when I first started playing it, I was not very good. I was having mechs die left and right, buildings were going down, I would not make it past the first island. But I think once you kind of get a hang of the mechanics and play around a little bit with the squads and some of the enemy types, you kind of get a hang of things, which is why I've been doing sort of okay at this run. See, now I have a problem with... Oh, the mech unit already died. Punch this guy, it'll take away the kamikaze bonus. Do that. Push this guy into me. Do damage, but it's the last turn. And we'll push him safely into the drink. Hooray! I think the other thing I appreciate about this game compared to Subset Games' previous game, FTL, is that FTL was kind of a strategy game, but everything was kind of moving in real time, so if you weren't able to pause or react quick enough, you were kind of at a loss. And with this game, you can kind of like sit... I find it better if you kind of sit and stare at it like a chessboard and figure out what the best movement is for you to do. And I really like cerebral games like that. Great, Next Island, got achievement, and this guy got quality. Sweet. And I perfected the islands, which means I know buildings do damage. So CL is going to be very nice to me and give me a free reward, such as this weapon. Let me jump and damage adjacent tiles, but also hurt myself. Get this pilot, which gives me +2 bonus XP per kill, or I could give myself 2 of the lightning bolts, which will increase my percentage. Since I lost that pilot earlier, I should probably pick one. Alright, let's spend my rep bucks. Ooh. Okay. But it kind of does everything in a circle. Okay, it's a passive one. That's interesting. A lot of so the different mechs are kind of classed differently. There's prime classes, which is this like punching mech. They have the kind of like the group class, which can be tanks, fighter jets, other types of mechs. And artillery, which is kind of, shoots rockets. And then science, which are more, these tend to be the more support class. There are science vessels that push enemies out of the way, give, you guys shields, health, so on and so forth. So what's the best way that I can spend my rep here? Okay, so the power on this one is free. I have to put a power reactor core into this one to make it get running. This one, same thing with this one. I don't really like to damage myself all that much, it's kind of a dangerous proposition. So let's pick this one, give me 5 class over range. And the rest of these are okay, that one's probably the best one. You can also donate pilots and weapons that you're not using that you get for reputation, so you can spend it more. I'm gonna buy 2 reactor cores. And actually that. And I have one more. Let's make this ally immune. Alright, let's make this ally immune. Alright. Alright, let's do that. Play a few more of these and then get going. Alright, so that island is cleared. Perfect. You know, there are also achievements per squad. Achievements will get you in-game currency to unlock the different squads. And then also what I like about FTL is that you can kind of, you know, save and quit whenever. It will save your progress on your current run. You can also, if things aren't going well, you can abandon the timeline, send your best pilot back into the time stream, and you can start all over again. All right. Different islands have kind of different tile sets, which kind of come with their own issues. This one is kind of the base one that we did. Your first run, you only will have this one unlocked, and then as you play the game, you'll unlock the other 4, and then can kind of choose whatever order you want for them. I like playing the desert one first. Okay, this lady's kind of the tough golden girl, but the reason I like the desert map so much is that some of the tiles introduce the concept of smoke, which can be really useful. Turn the tide of battle. Let's try this one. This also has a warning, Cataclysm. So there are some environmental things that'll happen. In this case, the Cataclysm means that if any unit is standing on these squares and the turn starts, that unit will fall into the void unless it's flying. And this guy is buffing these two and is giving them 1 more health each. And we have some new units to look at. Indeed, that makes history. Okay, so this guy will charge in. Push this guy back and do a lot of damage. But he's standing right next to the Cataclysm, and the Cataclysm goes first. So, well, maybe it's better to do that with... Yeah, it's better to do this with this. Oh, actually, it's not better to do that with that. Let's do this with the tank. He's gonna fall down in the hole and fall to his doom. Could do that. It might be better to spawn and do this like so. Alright, now watch this. Bye-bye. Yes. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay. This is a more powerful version of the Scarab, and they're both attacking that building. But the good news is that I could damage this tile. So when units are standing in smoke, like it says, they will not be able to attack or repair, and that can really be a useful mechanic. Probably what should happen here is I need to push this to the earthquake. Let's see here. Could push him further, which is probably what's going to happen. Okay, so I cancel his attack. And for good measure, let's just $5. Fabulous. Okay. This Scarab wasn't really thinking, because now they're just going to fall into the hole. Use our new laser weapon. Destroy this guy. And then I'm pretty safe. Great. Escape that battle unscathed, huh? And my little friend gave himself +2 health. Alright, we'll do one more, and then we'll call it a day for now. Let's try this, let's show off this train one. This is an interesting mechanic. So the objective on this one is to defend this train that it kind of moves along these train tracks. It's kind of like a moving set of buildings. I also have to watch that my train doesn't run into the units. It'll move 2 squares per turn. If it crashes into an enemy, it's game over for the train. Which is not going to be good news for our friends at Amtrak. Well, need to move. The most dangerous unit is that one. So let's do that. Push it away. Fire the laser. Giggles, do 1 damage. Okay. Alright, so I can't stand there. Well, I can, but I want to be able to attack. Okay, train's being threatened. And it's gonna run into the Scarab, so I need to get rid of that guy. It kind of sounds like my only option. Could punch, but I'll do more damage if I do the laser. So let's do that. See? It was smart to buy that. It's gonna run into the mountain. I move out of the way. Out of the way. And this is kind of, well, actually, smarter we push him out of the way. He will block the spawn, but also die. That is thinking with portals. Okay. Okay. Alright. So I need to dispatch this or protect the building by getting a mech in front of it. Let's do that just in case I screw up. But I'm not going to, because I'm a very good strategist. And the train got away! Hooray! Good stuff. Alright. And that is Into the Breach. It's a really, really cool game. highly recommend you check it out. I've played it for about 16 hours. Can't stop playing it. It's really a lot of fun. You know, hopefully I've done a good job of showing it off here. But yeah, if you liked what you saw, we'll be doing more streams, hopefully more often in the future. You can listen to our podcast. Go to our website, 1pvs2p.com. You can find a lot of great stuff. That's our website. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, at 1pvs2p_podcast. You can follow me. I'm at Ryan_Reeh. You can follow my brother Taylor at TVRay on Twitter. And yeah, look forward to doing more of these streams here shortly. So yeah, bye everybody.